Welcome back, Gunner Romney.
Yes, he is.
And
Yes.
welcome back to BYU Sports Nation. Yes, as promised, one of these star wide receivers we've been pining to see this season. Got to watch him under the Thursday night lights. Didn't take him long, obviously, to be involved.
How about that? Jaron's like first play.
Gunner,
Let's
just go deep.
Yeah, go
it's all
deep.
good.
Let's
I got you. Gunner, I asked you about this last night, but let's do it again for the morning audience here. Walk us through that play, what was called, and I mean, was this something that was like drawn up going into the game? Like, were you expecting this call right then?
Yeah, for sure. At the beginning of the week, we said we were going to be aggressive, and we were trying to decide what play we were going to run to do that. But that's something that A-Rod and me had conversations with. We're going to get involved early, and Jaron liked the matchup outside, and I got open. He had a great ball out there. It was fun to get started.
Walk us through the catch and then the emotion that you let out here.
Yeah, it was a lot of emotion for sure. I mean, having my first catch after missing 4 weeks, but honestly, it was a lot of frustration too. I felt like I should have stayed up and broke that tackle. That was frustrating, but it was really fun to get out there and get my feet wet a little bit.
If you had pulled a Dax Milne 2020 first play touchdown, that would have been incredible.
Yeah, no.
You were this close. You
I
felt
was this close.
That's like a shoestring trip.
Yeah, for sure. You got to break out of those. You got to high step out of that one. I'll chalk that one up to rusty legs.
Yeah, how'd you come into this game and sort of manage that emotion? Because you've been wanting to play for a couple weeks now. Obviously, a serious injury, which we'll get into in a sec. But you finally get a play. You finally get in, and you make this big catch, and you had an opportunity throughout the game to make big plays.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of emotion going into this game. It was super frustrating, sitting on the sideline the last 4 weeks just watching. So I was really excited to get back in there. My body wasn't completely ready. I'm completely out of shape. Let's just say that. So it was limiting my reps a little bit, but it was good to actually go out there and get a little bit of contact, get a little bit of that feel, and just get me prepared for the next couple weeks.
So you're still getting into shape, you're saying?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Especially on the short week. I got cleared on Monday to start going. And super short.
What does that mean exactly?
Full go, everything.
Full go.
Yeah,
now you can run full and the whole deal.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd been running and stuff, but nothing like practicing, nothing like crazy. So trying to get into shape after, having that Thursday game, it was a quick turnaround for sure. But now we got a long weekend and a long week to prepare.
Gunner Romney is with us on BYU Sports Nation. We were just discussing BYU's 12-point victory in a rivalry game. There were clearly some frustrating things, penalties, lack of discipline at times. What was the feeling like in the locker room once you finally got to the locker room? Was there some disappointment, or was it just like on to the next?
Yeah, no, there's no disappointment when you have a win. I think people don't realize how hard it is to come across wins at this level. And especially against an in-state rival like that. We knew Utah State was going to come out with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and they did. And they kind of stuck it to us in the first half a little bit. But I think I told you this last night. That's a sign of a mature team to be able to go in and make adjustments at halftime, and come out and then be able to dominate the second half. And so there was frustration throughout the game for sure. But once we got in, we secured that victory. It's always exciting to get a huge win over a rival.
Yeah, we were talking about that too because. In the end matters, whether you win or not, right? Fans are certainly excited after the Baylor win. Oh, this team is that level, right? Oh, why aren't we blowing out Mountain West teams at home? ... Perhaps the concern is that this is a trend leading into two big games with Notre Dame and Arkansas. But give us a sense of like the team going into a big game like Notre Dame and Arkansas, of like how much do you feel like what you did the previous 2 weeks connects or not to the Notre Dame game?
Yeah, I mean, It depends, really. It depends on each individual, but I think there is a natural tendency to get more hyped up and feel like you need to prepare more for bigger games, which, obviously that's not how it should be. You should be, preparing for every game the same. But I think there is a natural tendency to go into bigger games and into bigger environments with more energy and more enthusiasm. And so whether that, shows on the field, and that's a reason for our slow starts the last couple of weeks, I don't know. I'm not one to say, but we will come out with a lot more energy. I'll say that.
And maybe there's a dynamic to BYU being a nationally ranked team. I mean, maybe we should
getting everyone's best shot.
Maybe we should address the fact that you, as a team, have a target on your backs. And Kalani even said, "Look, we need to be prepared. Like we're being hunted. We've got to figure out how to kind of return that same energy." So I feel like that does play into it a little bit. How do you handle the constant target of being a nationally ranked team?
Yeah, and I think that's something that we're still adjusting to because, at least early in my career, we were always the team that was looking to go in and get wins against big teams. And now that we are the ranked team, it's a different mindset. Maybe we have to kind of go back to that hunger and that drive to go in and that we had when we're playing teams when we're the underdog. I think there definitely is a different mentality when you're the underdog going into games. But we need to be mature enough to be able to handle that and realize that people are gunning for us. People are going to come, trying to knock us off. So I think you make a great point right there.
And when you were a freshman and sophomore, you're playing at Wisconsin, Tennessee, USC at home, and so on, where it's like, oh, we're not supposed to win this game. And then you surprise some teams. Now you're the seniors, fifth-year senior in this case. It's like, all right, we're the big dog in this. Okay, let's talk about your lacerated kidney, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so BYU football put out a play. We saw the great catch. Tell us what happened and what you went through, because it sounds gnarly.
Yeah, so it was on that catch during day 2 of fall camp, just no pads, just a super routine catch. I've made that same catch, hundreds of times in my life, but just landed on the ball super weird, and everything felt completely normal after. I got a little wind knocked out of me, but just a couple hours later, got an excruciating pain. Had to get rushed to the ER and was in the hospital for like 8 days. Just
8 days?
Yeah, just with bleeding and from a lacerated kidney. So it was a really serious injury. Like it wasn't something that we were taking lightly at all. And that's a lot of people were complaining, oh, where's Gunner? But I was in the hospital with the lacerated kidney. So it was something serious, but luckily, we've had a lot of medical help and medical opinions on this, and felt like I was ready to go now.
Do you have to play different in any way? Because that feels like that's a life injury that could be pretty serious.
Yeah, no. Thankfully, everything's healed up now, and I'm all good, and so there's no further risk to that injury anymore, and so I can play like I normally can.
How you doing after the crosser where you got hit pretty hard last night?
I'm a little sore for sure, but just routine soreness after.
Normal football wear and tear.
Exactly.
That's good, because, dude, 8 days in the hospital is serious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to hurt your leg and heal up from that, whatnot.
Yeah.
But this is like, when the organ is healed, he can play. This is an organ we're talking about.
Yeah.
That is wild reality.
Is that the gnarliest injury you've ever had?
Oh, for sure. I think it's for sure the most unique injury I've ever had, the most rare injury, for sure.
And that's not one you think about.
No.
Like, oh, I hope I don't lacerate my kidney.
Yeah.
And you play with take this as a compliment, a reckless abandon when you catch. You want to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so when you make a couple plays there yesterday, you're going after it even after this.
Yeah.
We're weeks removed from this.
Yeah, no, it's something that I wasn't expecting to go into practice and lacerate my kidney that one day. It is. I kind of look back and just laugh, like, that's it's funny at this point. Who lacerates their kidney with no pads?
What in the world?
But yeah, it's something that like you said, I go after every ball like my life depended on it, and it's just how I play. That's my style, but I'm not going to stop doing that.
So a couple of themes came up with Kalani Sitake last night. He kept bringing up discipline, like guys just got to play better, and we got to figure out how to bring the energy early. How do you do that? Like, what is the key to preventing those mental lapses and some of those penalties, and then starting with the energy that you seemingly have in the second half, but in the beginning of the game?
Yeah. You play how you practice, and so that starts early in the week. You can't overlook anything. If you're holding or doing anything stupid in practice, it's going to show up in the game, because those are the habits that you're building. And also with practice, if you go out and you have dry practices with no energy, you're going to come into the game and be the same way. You have to create your own energy. We always say, the fans at Lavelle Edwards, they're crazy. They're going to give us all the energy that they can. But when we're having a little bit of a lull, we got to create our own energy, and we got to start making plays to drive the energy up. We can't have those 3-4 series where we're going 3 and out, or we're just giving up easy plays and making stupid mistakes. We have to start that early in the week during practice to start building that up.
Hard not to get up for Notre Dame, obviously, in Allegiant Stadium, where you guys beat Arizona last year. What are your thoughts on that matchup in 9 days, which luckily you get, or I guess 8 days. You get some time to prepare for that one.
Yeah, I'm really excited. They're obviously a super, household name in college football, one of the biggest names in college football, and super talented team. They have tons of talent. So it's going to be a fun one going down in Vegas. Again, that was, you know, for me personally, it's kind of a redemption game. I got hurt in that.
You got
stadium
rolled up
last
on.
year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't really get to play too much in that stadium. So it's kind of a redemption game. I'm looking at it myself, but it's going to be really fun. I think the energy is going to be great in there.
Gunner, let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma for the game against Notre Dame.
Shout out to Mormon Colonies.
Yeah.
My guy.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate you coming in the morning after a late game, man.
Yeah. No, a little hard getting out of bed this morning for sure. But
It's like, do I have to? Yeah.
The team play.
Thanks
He's
for coming in.
creating energy, positive energy going into the week.
And glad you're feeling better. That's crazy, man.
yeah. Thank you.
Crazy.
Absolutely.